What if I told you that the new big beautiful bill that's supposed to protect families from estate taxes actually creates a massive blind spot that could potentially cost your family hundreds of thousands of dollars? And if you live in Minnesota or have Minnesota assets or own assets in a state like Minnesota with its own separate estate tax, you're potentially walking into a tax trap that many attorneys may not even tell you about. Hi, I'm Chuck Roulet. I'm an estate and elder law planning attorney licensed to practice in both Minnesota and Florida. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I'm about to reveal why this new law is both a blessing and a potential curse, and what you need to do right now to protect your family. Now, before we begin, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons so you'll be notified when I post new videos like this one. If you have a question, post it in the comments below and I may answer it in an upcoming video. And if you stay until the end, I'll share some resources where you can discover more. So everyone's celebrating because the estate tax exemption is now permanently $15 million per person adjusted for inflation. In fact, some media outlets are calling it a huge win for families. But here's what they're not telling you. If you live in Minnesota or any other state with a separate estate tax, while you may be in the clear at the federal level, you may still have a tax on your estate due to state level estate taxes. So let me paint you a picture. John and Sarah from Minnetonka have a $4 million estate. They think they're safe because they're nowhere near the $15 million federal exemption amount. But when John and Sarah die, Minnesota is going to tax everything over $3 million, which is the current estate tax exemption in the state, potentially costing their kids $64,000 or more. And if you live in a state like Minnesota that has its own separate estate tax, you may still be subject to the estate tax there. And it gets even worse. Even if you move to Florida to escape taxes, if you still own property in another state, maybe the family cabin, rental property, or business interests, the state may still tax those assets. Look, I've seen this movie before. In my 30 years of practice, I've watched tax laws change more times than I can count. What's permanent today becomes revised tomorrow. The fact is, permanent in Washington means until the end of the press conference, the news cycle, or no later than the next election. And if you think I'm being cynical, let me remind you that I graduated from Georgetown University and began my career at a large law firm in Washington. So I know better than most how Washington operates. Remember when politicians like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren proposed estate tax exemptions as low as $3.5 million with tax rates up to 65% and taxes on unrealized gains like the appreciation on your home and life savings? Just because those didn't pass doesn't mean they're not going to try again. In fact, Kamala Harris ran on Elizabeth Warren's tax plan. The families who protect themselves now are the ones who sleep well at night, regardless of what Congress does next. So what do? Well, it depends on your wealth level, and I'm going to break this down for you. So families with a net worth of $10 million or more, you're still in the danger zone. Don't get comfortable. Keep using dynasty trusts, grats, slats, and charitable strategies. The pendulum will swing back. For families with a net worth between, say, $3 and $10 million, there are many planning opportunities here, particularly for families subject to state-level estate taxes. For example, I recently helped Tom and Linda in Edina with a $7 million estate. Using credit shelter trusts and a spousal lifetime access trust, we were able to protect their entire estate from estate taxes, potentially saving their family $100,000 or more. For my Florida clients in this range, we focus on asset protection trusts, charitable trusts, and income tax planning that can save thousands annually. For middle-class families with a net worth of a few $100,000 to a few $1 million, don't think you're off the hook. You're still going to want to do planning so that your family can manage your healthcare decisions and finances during incapacity. You want to do planning to avoid probate and to protect the money you leave for your kids in the event they get divorced, get sued, or face bankruptcy due to an unforeseen medical emergency or a job loss. Now, the new law also creates incredible income tax planning opportunities. With the increased standard deduction, many families won't itemize. But by shifting investment assets to specially designed trusts, you can offset investment income with charitable contributions and qualify for business deductions you couldn't use before. But here's the kicker that most people in this moderate wealth category completely ignore. 70% of people over the age of 65 will need some sort of long-term care, and the costs are absolutely crushing. Minnesota nursing homes at the time of this video are averaging over $120,000 per year. Florida nursing homes are over $110,000 per year. Memory care, upwards of $150,000 or more a year. I watched Mary and Jim from Minnetonka see their $1.2 million estate get wiped out in just a few years when Mary needed memory care. And without proper planning, families face the heartbreaking choice of spending everything or getting substandard care. Now, Medicare doesn't cover long-term care. Medicaid does, but only after you've spent down to about $3,000, meaning you could lose your home and life savings to long-term care costs. If this is hitting home for you, I've created a comprehensive guide called Save Our Home, How to Protect Your Home and Life Savings from Long-Term Care and Nursing Home Costs. It reveals strategies most families never hear about. Click the link in the description below to download your free copy right now. I'm also hosting an exclusive online masterclass where I reveal strategies I use with my private clients and their families to help them protect their home and life savings from long-term care and nursing home costs. And you can join us by signing up at the link in the description below. So here's what I'm seeing in my practice. The families who are planning now are building in flexibility for whatever comes next. We're using powers of appointment, trust protectors, and other strategies that can adapt when the laws inevitably change. Because again, they will change. That's the only constant in tax law. So the question isn't whether you need estate planning. It's whether you're going to let your family keep more of what you worked so hard to build, or whether you're going to let the government and nursing homes take it. I've helped thousands of families in Minnesota and Florida navigate these challenges. Now, some folks thought they were too young to plan. Others thought they didn't have enough money to even worry about it. But the families who took action, they're the ones calling me to say thank you when their plans protect their legacies during the biggest challenges of their lives. Look, I can't make these decisions for you, but I can give you the information you need to make smart choices for your family. If you would like to discover more or to schedule a consultation to discuss your own planning, visit our website at roulettelaw.com. I'm also hosting an exclusive masterclass where I'll reveal the strategies I use with my private clients to help them avoid probate, save on taxes, and protect the money they leave for their kids, even if their kids get divorced or face creditor problems. In this masterclass, I'll share techniques that most attorneys charge thousands just to learn about. Again, click the link in the description below to reserve your spot. Remember, estate planning isn't about timing the market. It's about protecting your family regardless of what happens. The big, beautiful bill created opportunities that didn't exist before. The question is, are you going to take advantage of them? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our wealth protection strategies. I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming video and the masterclass. Be well.